It starts with a simple truth about the human mind. We like to believe that our decisions are logical, that when we choose something, we weigh risks, calculate outcomes, and act rationally, but that's not how the mind actually works. Most of the time, your decisions are not made by careful reasoning. They are made automatically, silently, by a system you don't even notice. This is where the psychology of fearing loss begins. Two systems, one hidden bias inside your mind. There are two systems constantly shaping your choices. One is fast, automatic, and effortless. It reacts instantly, without asking for permission. The other is slow, deliberate, and effortful. It requires attention, focus, and conscious control. The problem? The fast system is in charge most of the time. It generates impressions, feelings, and impulses. And the slow system usually just accepts them without question. That means many of your decisions aren't really decisions at all. They are reactions. Why losing feels stronger than winning? When you think about a possible loss, your mind doesn't treat it as just another outcome. It reacts immediately, emotionally, automatically. This happens because the fast system doesn't calculate probabilities like a statistician. It works through impressions, associations, and feelings, and when something feels like a threat, it becomes more important than everything else, even if, logically, the potential gain is bigger. The shortcut that controls your choice when faced with a difficult question: should I take this risk? Is this opportunity worth it? Your mind often doesn't answer that question directly. Instead, it replaces it with an easier one: do I feel good about this or not? This is a mental shortcut, and it's one of the biggest reasons people fear losing more than they love winning, because feeling bad is easier to detect than calculating gain, so the mind chooses safety, even when it costs growth. The illusion of understanding risk. People think they understand risk, but in reality, their judgments are often shaped by how easily examples come to mind. If something bad is easy to imagine, it feels more likely. If something good is harder to picture, it feels less real. This creates a distorted view of reality. You don't evaluate risk based on facts. You evaluate it based on memory. Why your mind overreacts to loss. The fast system is designed for survival, not accuracy. It doesn't ask, what is the actual probability? It asks, what does this remind me of? What does this feel like? If the answer feels dangerous, it triggers avoidance, even if the situation isn't truly risky. Confidence doesn't mean correctness. One of the most dangerous parts of this process is confidence. People often feel certain about their judgments, even when those judgments are wrong, because the mind doesn't track how it reached a conclusion. It only delivers the conclusion itself. So when someone avoids a risk, they don't think, I might be biased. They think, I'm being smart. The cost of avoiding loss. At first glance, avoiding loss seems safe, but there's a hidden cost. When your decisions are driven by fear of losing, you stop evaluating opportunities objectively. You stop asking, what could I gain? And start asking, what could go wrong? Over time, this shifts your entire decision-making pattern, not toward success, but toward protection. Why the mind prefers certain slow system. The one responsible for careful thinking is lazy. It avoids effort whenever possible. So instead of analyzing complex risks, it accepts the fast system's emotional reaction. This is why people prefer certainty, even when uncertainty offers better outcomes, because thinking deeply is hard, reacting emotionally is easy. When fear becomes the default and this pattern repeats enough times, it becomes automatic. The mind starts anticipating loss before it even happens. It creates expectations based on past impressions, not objective reality, and those expectations shape future decisions. The hidden mechanism behind fear of loss at its core. This behavior isn't about weakness, it's about how the mind is built. The fast system continuously generates suggestions, impressions, feelings, judgments, and unless the slow system actively intervenes, those suggestions become beliefs, then actions. Why it's so hard to change. You might think, okay, I'll just think more logically, but it's not that simple, because the fast system cannot be turned off. It will always produce reactions automatically, and the slow system requires effort to override them, which means change requires attention, awareness, and energy. The real problem, you don't see your own bias. One of the most important insights is this: people are better at recognizing mistakes in others than in themselves. So when someone else avoids a risk, you might see fear, but when you do it, it feels like logic. What actually happens in a decision? Every decision follows a hidden sequence. First, an automatic impression appears. Then, a feeling is attached to it. Then, a judgment is formed. And finally, action follows. All of this happens before conscious reasoning even begins. The role of effort in breaking the pattern to overcome this bias. The slow system must step in, but it only activates under certain conditions, when something feels difficult, when a conflict is detected, or when you consciously force yourself to think otherwise. The automatic system stays in control. Why fear wins by default? Fear of loss doesn't win because it's correct. It wins because it's fast, because it feels real, because it demands attention, and because your mind is designed to respond to it immediately. Final. Inside psychology of fearing loss more than loving winning is not about weakness, it's about a system that prioritizes immediate impressions over careful reasoning, a system that replaces hard questions with easy ones, a system that trusts feelings, even when they're misleading, and unless you actively question those feelings, they will continue to shape your decisions, quietly, automatically, and consistently.